This week, we are going to discuss reducing importance on transurfing on Tuesday. I remember the first time I spoke about reality transurfing, and I always said, keep importance low, outer intention high, and find advantage in everything. But oftentimes, this is easier said than done. And if you are sitting there thinking, how am I going to reduce importance on you fill in the blank? I can tell you, I know how you feel. I felt it before, and this is what I have found. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kathie Owen. I have been a certified fitness trainer and certified life coach since 2002. On this channel, we talk about having a growth mindset, healthy habits, fitness, and even some reality transurfing. And today we are talking transurfing on Tuesday and reducing importance. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video from me. The first time I remotely understood reducing importance was when reading the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, one of my favorites, by the way. He spoke of letting go, not attaching to things, and things like that. He says, when you are detached, you gain a higher vantage point from which to view the events in your life instead of being trapped inside of them. You become like an astronaut who sees the planet Earth surrounded by the vastness of space and realizes a paradoxical truth. The Earth is precious and at the same time insignificant. The recognition that this too will pass brings detachment. And with detachment, another dimension comes into your life, inner space. Through detachment, as well as non-judgment and inner non-resistance, you gain access to that dimension. Non-resistance is the key to the greatest power in the universe. I'm going to repeat that because that's super important. Non-resistance is the key to the greatest power in the universe. Through it, consciousness, or your spirit, is freed from its imprisonment in form. What I have honestly found by reducing importance, also known as non-resistance, is there is great power there. I will discuss what I learned in just a moment, but Eckhart goes on to say this about non-resistance. What is dreadful is your reaction, your inner resistance to it, and the emotion that is created by that resistance. In Shakespeare's words, there is nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Is or happens is the form that the now takes. When you bring an inner yes to the form that now takes, that very form becomes the doorway into the formless. The separation between the world and God dissolves. He allows the form of the moment, good or bad, to be as it is, and so does not become a participant in human drama. This is from the story of the Zen master. I've done a video on it and I've done an article on it, and I will have a link to that in the show notes and the description below. So to that Zen master, there is only this moment, and this moment is as it is. Events are not personalized. He is nobody's victim. He is so completely at one with what happens that what happens has no power over him anymore. Only if you resist what happens are you at the mercy of what happens, and the world will determine your happiness and unhappiness. When I first read this was several years ago and first came to this conclusion about importance and non-resistance, and my son was a superstar athlete in baseball when he was a child, and his father used to use the baseball scene to create importance around himself as the father. And he made it difficult for me to get involved. I finally let go of all the importance around the situation that is now so minuscule some 20 years later. I actually even had to let go of vacations and travel with my children. And the boys' father would actually take them on trips out of the country, and I would not be an emergency contact or anything. I let go of that, and I found something that honestly I cannot describe in words. I can only say that I somehow spiritually know how my boys are doing. Talk about doors opening up and power being given. But just because I let go at that point in time, I have several instances where I have to let go of importance, of resistance, to what's going on in my life. So I know how that feels. And because I went through that situation in the past, I apply it to whenever I'm going through a really stressful situation now. And this too shall pass is something that kind of gives me relief. So today we're going to talk about some reality transurfing quotes that I found about importance. We're also going to talk about power versus force and importance. And David Hawkins says this about importance. Since anger stems from frustrated want, it is based on the energy field below it. Frustration results from exaggerating the importance of desires. The angry person may, like a frustrated infant, go into a rage. Anger leads easily to hatred, which has an erosive effect on all areas of a person's life. So, exaggerating the importance of desires, this is where the struggle comes in. Let go. He says that anger leads easily to hatred, which has an erosive effect on all areas of a person's life. Let go of that resentment that you may have attributed so much importance to. I talk about this in my book, The Truth Bubbles Up, and I'll have a link to that in the show notes and description below as well. So, what does Vadim Zeland say about importance? Well, I pulled a few quotes from the book, and we're going to discuss that right now. And here's the first one. So, in order to reduce importance, first remember and be aware that the problem or situation has arisen as a consequence of projected, excessive importance. Until you can explain to yourself that every single problem is created by excessive importance, you will continue to bury yourself in its intensity, as in a dream, remaining completely under the power of the pendulum. Vadim Zeland, Reality Transurfing. So a pendulum is just a thought structure that everyone thinks, and it only wants your energy. And you don't have to look very far to see pendulums in this world. But not all pendulums are bad. It is where you give your energy that matters. Are you looking for a way to deal with pendulums? Well, I created a download that will help you with just that. You can find that at www.kathieowen.com/reality-transurfing. So I have this friend of mine that tells me every morning when she wakes up, she has to watch the news so she knows what is going on in the world. Not her world, but the world. And that's where the pendulum is going to come in and mess with your energy. You're going to give your energy to that pendulum, whatever's going on in the news. It will also pull you into the importance of the pendulum. So Vadim goes on to say this in the book too that I pulled out. He said, stop, shake off the delusion, and recall what projected importance leads to. Then intentionally change your attitude to the situation in question. It is not difficult to do. You already know that attributing excessive meaning to something will only get in the way. The main difficulty is to remember quickly enough that you are playing out projections of inner and outer importance. You need the help of your guardian, your inner witness, who constantly keeps track of all your inner values. I love how Joseph Rodrigues, my mentor, my coach, mentioned in this episode. It's called Create Your Own Universe as You Go Along. And this is what he said. And it's just a few episodes ago if you're listening to this in March of 2023. But he says this from the Master Key System. The value of the subconscious is enormous. It inspires us. It warns us. It furnishes us with names, facts, and scenes from the storehouse of memory. It directs our thoughts, our tastes, and accomplishments, and accomplishes tasks so intricate that no conscious mind, even if it had the power, has the capacity for. That is from the Master Key System. So to me, that is your guardian and your inner witness, which can help you remember quickly that you are playing out projections of inner and outer importance. You'll want to remember this about your guardian as we discuss reducing importance and pendulums further. Here's another couple of quotes from Reality Transurfing. First of all, to eliminate mental tension, it is essential and sufficient for importance to be reduced. And second, importance gives rise to doubt, which stands as an obstacle on the path to unity. Doubt is actually a ceiling to fear and anxiety. When we assume importance, we give rise to doubt, and then it becomes an obstacle. I can't tell you how many times I have felt doubt creep in. Doubt in my capabilities, doubt in my vision, doubt in my purpose, doubt in my identity, my values and beliefs. But when we reduce importance, it helps us to alleviate the doubt and demolish fear. The best possible solution to any problem will come to you as soon as you reduce the level of importance you project onto it and free yourself from the influence of the destructive pendulum that prevents you from living in peace. That is from Reality Transurfing. So, how do we let go of importance? And I get asked that question often, especially when I'm talking about reality transurfing, because I always say, keep importance low. And I like to go back to what Eckhart Tolle teaches us. He says, when you are detached, you gain a higher vantage point from which you can view the events of your life instead of being trapped inside them. And here's what I found. I look at the situation from a bird's eye view. I look at it like I'm watching a problem play out on a TV show, especially reality TV, where things appear to be so dramatic. I have found that if I view the events of my life instead of being trapped inside of them, that's where the magic happens. Reality Transurfing also says even your own door can slam shut if you have somewhere attributed significantly embellished importance. Oh my gosh, a door can slam shut on a dream, a vision, on a purpose, all because we have attributed excess importance? So, how does one keep that door from slamming? And the answer comes from this final quote today from Reality Transurfing. You have to make conscious the fact that projecting importance onto things will bring you nothing but trouble, and with that understanding, intentionally reduce the importance you attribute to things. Honestly, I can tell you from personal experience, it is that simple. I've done it many times and it has taken practice. And where I like to practice is with the small things. Think of something small that you're attached to. And when I say small, I mean small. Something like a cup that you really like that you happen to have lost. Let go of that attachment and see what happens. Just try it. Let go. And the attachment or importance is actually resistance. What you resist persists. But when you let go, it opens the door for other things to come into your world. As Vadim teaches, stop, shake off the delusion, and recall what projected importance leads to. Then intentionally change your attitude to the situation in question. It is not difficult to do. You already know that attributing excess meaning to something will only get in the way. So, how will you drop importance? Start today and watch your world transform in magic fashion. All right, that's my episode for today. I trust that you found this helpful. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please share it with them. And until next time, I will see you next time. Peace out and namaste.